Freedom Hall in Louisville, where approximately 16,000 will tonight watch the first meeting ever between the Louisville Cardinals and the South Florida Bulls. And right now, for the starting lineups in tonight's second-round NIT game, here is the PA announcer.
College basketball in the National Invitational Tournament, as the University of Louisville Fighting Cardinals host the University of South Florida Bulls. And now introducing the starting lineups. First, the Bulls of the University of South Florida. At forward, number 30, 6'6", senior from Tampa, Florida, Charlie Bradley. At the other forward, number 44, 6'8", a sophomore from Miami, Florida, Doug Wallace. At center, number 40, a junior from Fort Myers, Florida, at 6'9", Curtis Kitchen. At the guards, number 4, 6'2", a junior from Chicago, Illinois, Tommy Tonelli. And at the other guard, number 10, 6 feet, a senior from Tampa, Florida, Darrell Patterson. And now, introducing the University of...
Second-round NIT game are Jim Desmond, Sid Rodeheffer, and Sam Licklider, all from the Mid-American Conference. The Bulls take the floor for the first time ever at Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. And, of course, Bulls, a member of the Sun Belt Conference. Pete, the Cardinals play in that tough Metro Conference. First meeting ever, and both coaches admitted this afternoon that they really don't know a whole lot about the other coach's team.
Well, the intensity of this game is showing right now, Randy, with the crowd. I literally believe that these fans here are the sixth man for Louisville. I do believe this. In the early part of the game, the Bulls are going to have to show poise, and they're going to have to control the tempo early on, and they must keep their turnovers down, or this crowd is really going to get into the game.
In the first round last week, Louisville held off Alcorn State here in Louisville, 77-75. South Florida defeated Wake Forest in Tampa, 77-66. So that was the first Bulls win over a team out of the ACC in 12 tries. They hope that confidence carries over into tonight's game. They will need it. Curtis Kitchen controls the tap, and Tommy Tonelli brings it up the floor for Lee Rose's Bulls. Kuda Patterson on the wing, out to Bradley at the high post. Charlie Bradley, all-time leading scorer. Patterson puts up South Florida's first shot. He had 25 the other night, Pete, and they need a good game out of Kuda tonight.
That's a confidence builder right there. Those first 2 points are the most important points of the game, usually.
Well, the Bulls break on top 2-0. And the Louisville fans come to life. Mike Abram, the freshman, ball handling to Sumter, the center. From the corner, the shot is good. Manuel Forrest, the 6'6" senior from Louisville. Manuel Forrest ties it up at 2 apiece.
Well, Lee Rose has come out, Randy. He's playing a 2-3 zone. And what they're going to try to do is just make Louisville shoot from the outside. If they're going to win, they're going to beat them from the outside.
This is Billy Thompson. The stick back did not fall for South Florida. Thompson brings it up. In the corner again, Manuel Forrest, the only starting senior on Denny Crum's Louisville Cardinal team. Sumter, the 6'11" center. This is Mike Abram. Jeff Hall. Back to Abram. Penetrates. Puts it off the glass. No good. Scraps for the rebound underneath. Out of bounds. South Florida ball. Last touched by Manuel Forrest. And the Bulls will have a chance to go on top again. We're tied in the early minutes. Lee Rose hollering out instructions to his senior guard, Kuda Patterson.
I think you'll see Lee, Coach Rose, changing defenses quite a bit tonight. If something doesn't work out right away, he's going to change that defense, because especially with the Hall kid, he's a great shooter.
Nice pick from Wallace for Patterson. Out to Kitchen at the high post. Kuda works it around. Rose felt that one of the keys tonight would be to calm this crowd down, to keep Louisville from getting into a running transition offense. Tonelli looks for the shot. It isn't there. He's guarded by Mike Abram. To Patterson. He's clear. He pumps. He hits from 20 feet.
Well, I tell you, Kuda's just been on a roll the last several games, and it's really showing up here. And this is what they need early on in the game.
4-2. Bulls lead early. Shot is on the way by Forrest. Rims around. No good. Tipped up and in by Mike Abram.
That's one of the things players fail to realize, is that when the shot is taken, don't look at the ball, look at your man so you can block him out. That would have never taken place.
Interesting to see how they try and guard Charlie Bradley here tonight. They play him straight up, or will they try some of those gimmick defenses against CB? We'll take a look. Here's Kuda Patterson in the corner. Tommy Tonelli from long range. And the Bulls so far are hitting those deep range perimeter shots, and they are on top 6-4, Pete.
The Bulls have come out really hitting string music, and also they're playing real relaxed. They really are playing confident at this point, Randy.
Well, the pressure, I would have to say, would be on the Louisville Cardinals tonight. They have a streak that they're trying to keep alive. The longest consecutive game winning streak, season streak in the country. 40 straight years they have not had a losing season. They are 17-16, and a loss here tonight would ruin that streak. Into Kopp to the center, puts it up. Sumter, no good. Rebound, South Florida. We do have a shot clock in the NIT. The shot clock is operative during this tournament. Here's Tonelli, top of the key again. This one short off the rim. Rebound, fought for between Wallace and Kitchen. Stick back by Kitchen, no good. Rebound up, and it's no good by Doug Wallace. Fast break, the Cardinals. Now they slow it down. Thompson brought it up. Jeff Hall.
You don't want to give Hall that shot. You got to play him very aggressively, and Coach Rose is telling him that they got to have somebody on Hall. Whenever he's open, he's going to make the shot.
You're right, Pete. By far, he is Louisville's best perimeter shooter and their second leading scorer. Now Tonelli, as the Bulls work a very patient offense here early on. Rose said it's important for the Bulls to play under control tonight, to execute oblivious to the crowd, which they guesstimate will be close to 16,000 here at this mammoth facility. Tonelli working underneath. Charlie Bradley, first shot is no good. It's short. Rebound. And a bad pass. It was intended for Billy Thompson, and he didn't see it coming. We have a timeout on the floor, and we'll be right back. 15:55 remaining in the first half with a score. The Bulls 6, the Cardinals 6. Tonight, you see the score early in the going here in the first half. Actually, a homecoming of sorts for many of these Bulls tonight. Coach Lee Rose, of course, is a native of the state of Kentucky. He was head coach at nearby Transylvania College, graduate of Transylvania, a school in Lexington where he coached for 8 years. And 3 Bulls players are from this basketball-rich state. Junior William Connors, sophomore Vince Sanford, and freshman Keith Jordan. Tommy Tonelli, as the Bulls have a chance to go on top. We're tied at 6-6. Tonelli looking for Bradley, goes cross-court to the Patterson. Patterson guarded by Jeff Hall. Wants to work it underneath. The William Counter is just checked into the lineup. At forward, Tonelli in the corner. Patterson whips a pass to Bradley underneath. It's good, and he is fouled.
That was a great pass by Kuda right there. He went up for the jump shot. The guys looked up to the basket. He threw the ball underneath. Let's look at it right here. There's the pass right underneath the Bradley. He grabs it by the shoulder, and it should be a three-point play, but an excellent play by Patterson. So far, Kuda has taken responsibility of shoring up everything at the beginning of this basketball game, and it's just he's just playing really well.
Foul was on Thompson, and that is his first. Also the first team foul for the Cardinals. Bradley at the line, the best free throw shooter.
One of the things composure brings is less turnovers. And when you don't have a lot of turnovers in the basketball game, you're going to be in it. And that's one of the reasons South Florida is in this game like they are. Plus the fact they've shot the ball pretty well. What they need to do in the second half is get the ball inside a little bit more to Wallace, the Kitchen, let them feel the ball, let them make a couple shots, which will open it up on the outside, keep their composure, don't make a lot of turnovers. In essence, if they played a perfect game in the second half, Randy, the Florida Bulls will take the game back to Florida.
All right, Pete, joining us here on the floor at halftime is the very astute athletic director, very busy athletic director of the University of South Florida, John Wadas, who really scrambled the last couple of days to put together this telecast tonight. And John, I know it's a tremendous thing for the Bulls to be here and for the people back in Tampa to be able to share this fine moment in South Florida basketball history with us.
Well, I felt it was very important. I want to take this time, too, to thank WTOG, Randy and Pete, and especially Dick Daly back there in Tampa. I'm sure he's watching tonight. And thanks a lot, Dick, for your help in putting this on. And the fans back there are getting a chance to watch this great game. Send a letter on over to Dick at WTOG and tell him how much you appreciate it, because it is a great moment in the history for University of South Florida to be here, to play Louisville. It's a tremendous tradition up here, you know, almost a full house here tonight, and it's exciting for our program. It's a great day.
Tremendous exposure, not only for the folks looking in back home who are used to seeing the Charlie Bradleys, the Darrell Pattersons, and the great basketball the Bulls play, but I got to tell you, about 16,000 people here in Freedom Hall are pretty impressed with this first half tonight, too. Good exposure for the Bulls.
They got to be really, really impressed. We shot the ball well coming out. We kept the crowd out of it a little bit, which is very important. And I think Pete said it all. When you looked at our players and they played with relaxed, they played with a lot of composure, and that's really exciting to see us do that. And it's going to be tough this second half because we had a lot more pressure this second half than was the first half. If they can maintain that, boy, we could pull an all-time upset and be that Cinderella team and work our way up to Madison Square Garden. That's our goal.
I know, John. You know, it's no secret. During the regular season, you try and schedule as many name teams as possible on your home schedule. But the ultimate goal of any coach, any athletic director, any team is to make it to postseason play. The NIT is a great tournament, and I know you're happy to be here for the third time in the last 5 years.
Oh, you betcha. It's very important to get to postseason play. You know, it's a major factor in developing a program like we're working at South Florida. Our next goal, obviously, is to get in the NCAA tournament because that's even more beneficial to your program. But postseason play means a lot to recruiting, a lot to your season ticket sales, a lot to your fan support, a lot to your alumni at your university and your administration at your school, because we're trying to develop a program with a lot of prestige, and we're making a lot of progress on that.
A lot of big teams coming into the Dome, I know, in the future, and while you can't divulge all of your plans, you mentioned a couple of exciting additions to the Miller Classic tournament set for next December at the Sun Dome.
Yes, we got Virginia Tech Inc. from the Metro, one of their fellow Metro players here. Virginia Tech will be playing also Miami, Ohio, and both those teams are in the NCAA tournament this year, and that makes the Miller High Life Classic something special this next year to really look forward to right after and during the holiday period.
John, I got to mention that you come into a town like Louisville and you pick up the paper this morning and you see where among the possible successors to Joe B. Hall at the University of Kentucky is a guy whose name we're pretty familiar with, Lee Rose. But his name has been mentioned for that position, I guess, for the past 10 years on and off due to his outstanding success at all the programs that he has very capably handled. Would the University of South Florida go out of their way to keep Lee Rose if Kentucky made the coach an offer?
That's a tough one. Lee and I have talked about this before, where he had made a statement. He said, the only school that I might be really interested in leaving to go to would be Kentucky. And I can understand that with the great tradition they have. We think we have an outstanding contract with an outstanding coach, and it's going to be tough for someone to draw him away from camp and what he started down there. We've got it going. It's going to be tough to keep it going. It's going to take a lot of work, just like the work of getting it on television and getting into the NIT and playing here against Louisville. You know, these are the things that we've been able to accomplish so far, and I'm not so sure that Joe B. Hall is ready to give up that post over there yet at Kentucky anyway.
You're right. They're still alive in the other tournament. John, you've had tremendous success not only in basketball. Certainly, Robin Roberts has done a great job in baseball.
Yes, he has.
Your tennis team, your soccer team. You can go on and on down the list, but you had a major win for your girls swimming team this past week.
You betcha. I want to extend back congratulations to Billy Mann. Tremendous job winning the women's NCAA National Swim Championship, and boy, we're proud of that. That's a lot of work to develop a championship like that, and it's our school's first NCAA championship, and we're going to do something special for our team.
All right, John, I know you're happy that the Bulls have played so respectably here in the first half, down by just 3 points right now. What do you look for in the second half?
I look for us to be ahead by 1 when that buzzer goes off. That's what I look forward to.
I want to thank you for stopping by, and we certainly want to shoot another big thank you back to the folks in Tampa who made it all possible, and that, of course, is the guys who pay the bills, the sponsors.
Thank you.
All right, John Wadas, the athletic director at the University of South Florida, and we're going to be right back at halftime. Pete Maravich and Randy Scott stay with us. The score, the Bulls are very much in this second-round NIT game, down by 3, 34-31, after leading much of the first half, Pete, and I know that Lee Rose wanted to come in here tonight and have his team play hustling basketball. In your opinion, are they playing smart basketball?
I think they're playing very smart basketball, especially, you know, this is the first time they've ever really played in this kind of mecca of basketball, I believe, at least in Louisville it is. And I think one of the advantages they've had is the play of Patterson so far in this game. Having a playmaker guard like that, you could take the pro guards that have been in the past, like the Nate Archibalds and so forth, that control the tempo of a game, and they come out and keep their players in the game and keep them in the flow, and this gives them confidence to know that a guard can pull it back out when he's supposed to, he can take it in when he's supposed to, and this is one of the reasons they're in the game. But I think they're doing exactly what Coach Rose wants. They just need to work on a few different things. They got to keep them off the boards more. They got to block out better so they can't get those offensive rebounds. But as I stated before, one of the reasons they're in this game, and in the end will be in it, if they keep their turnover level down. They've only got 4 turnovers for the first half, and that's tremendous.
Well, Billy Thompson, the Cardinals' leading scorer, has been held to 7 points. So the Bulls certainly did a great defensive job on Thompson in the first half. They spread their scoring around, though. Forrest has 6, Abram has 8, including that incredible shot at the buzzer. Crook has a pair, Hall has 7, McSwain has 2. That balanced offense is something that South Florida will have to probably cope with in the second half. Pete, what adjustments, what fine-tuning, if you will Leroy's have to make defensively in the second half?
Well, I think what he tried to in the first half to do was the fact that he wanted to come out and he wanted to see how Louisville was going to play offensively. He started out with a man-for-man, he went to a 2-3 zone, and he kind of mixed it up. He went to a box and one. I think you'll see the same pattern in the second half. It kind of worked for him successfully in the first half. What he needs to do is to see what feels comfortable for his team, and it depends on Hall, too. If Hall gets hot, he'll probably come out firing because he didn't touch the ball after 3 straight shots.
That's right. Well, the Bulls' bulk of scoring has been carried by Charlie Bradley, who has 11. Kuda Patterson has 10. Tonelli has 4. William Cotter 2, Curtis Kitchen 2, and Doug Wallace 2. We'll be right back at halftime with the score: Louisville 34, South Florida 31. Here at Freedom Hall, despite the efforts of South Florida seniors tonight, Kuda Patterson with 18, Charlie Bradley with 13. The Bulls fall to the Louisville Cardinals in the second round of the NIT page, 68-61, but a respectable effort by Lee Rose's team.
Very respectable, and I think one of the biggest factors of this is they got the exposure that they really wanted for the program. The program is what is important, and that's how you build on it, by playing these types of teams in this type of situation.
Bissell, it's been a pleasure working with you. Thanks for joining us at our telecast
Equally
this year.
so.
And that'll do it from Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Eyewitness News is coming up next. Tonight's game has been brought to you on Channel 44 by Wilson Dodge, by Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Tampa, by McDonald's, Sunbank, Chili's, U.S. Home Builders, NCNB, Bojangles, Bay Harbor Inn, and Dow Sherwood Enterprises. The final score again in Louisville tonight: the Cardinals 68, the South Florida Bulls 61.